everybody. My name is Caesar.
And I'm Martha.
And welcome back, finally, to the 14th episode of Inner Wider Screen, where...
Two idiots who know nothing about movies talk about movies.
So, Martha, quick question for you to start off this week. Which word starts with an E, ends with an E, and only has one letter?
Starts with an E, ends with an E, and only has one letter. At first, I was thinking, I. Because
Can you explain that?
Yeah, because E, it starts with an E, ends with an E, and E-Y-E, but it sounds like the letter I.
But that's three letters.
Yeah, but it makes one letter, I.
Wait. So an I is like... No, listen. An I is like this, like a line and a dot.
Yes.
So how does that start with an E?
And
end with an E.
Okay, look.
Like an I?
The logic is there, yes. E-Y-E.
Yes,
starts
that's three
with
letters.
An E, ends with an E. But when you say it, you could be saying like the letter I.
But it's not that it sounds like a letter.
That totally makes sense.
It does not. It's not it. That's not the
That's
answer.
not the
at
answer?
all. No.
I feel like you're lying to me.
Whatsoever.
You're definitely lying to me.
Do you want to know the answer? Because clearly you're not.
I'm upset now. Give it to me.
Honestly, that theory was more
detailed than the answer is going to be. The answer is going to be stupid. I already know it.
It's a letter. No, it's not a letter. It's an envelope.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Think about it. Envelope starts with an E. It ends with an E. It only has one letter.
Well, that's not always true because I get mail, the envelope, and it has multiple pages.
Who mails you?
It's usually spam stuff. It's like, hey, you want to give us more of your money? I'm like, no.
That's very true. Anyways, I was not expecting that answer to come out, but that was actually very creative. So
it was very creative and very clever. So, yeah.
Yes, and actually, I think that's very fitting for the movie we're talking about because it's honestly a pretty creative and detailed. Clever kind of thing movie. I did not expect.
I agree. I think so. It's a good segue. But before we get into the movie, I do have a couple of things to say. So one, we are finally back, and that's great. We're not in studio though, and that is on me.
Yeah.
If you can't tell by the sound of my awful voice, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather this week.
Your voice is shot. It is gone.
I have no voice right now. My mic is all the way up, so you can hear me. Otherwise, I'd just be a whisper and this be an ASMR channel, which we are not.
That would be an interesting direction to take this in.
It would be interesting, but not today.
Not today, no.
So, no, not today. Anyway, so... We have missed 2 weeks in a row already.
We have.
I was not going to let this cancel again, so we are getting it done.
I would have fully understood, but we were both on trips, and then even like I had time during my trip, but like circumstances on the trip just made it difficult. So we just thought
technical difficulties and everything.
Yeah.
And
so it was just better to push it. Yeah.
It was better to push, but we're here now with half a voice. But I have my tea and my Inner Wider Screen mug. If y'all are interested, we should totally start selling these.
We should. Mine's in studio, so I got this.
But
it's the thought
we're
that
here.
counts.
It's the thought that counts. Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
So actually, something really interesting that I wanted to address with you these last couple of weeks that we haven't been able to is: have you seen the Percy Jackson video on our YouTube channel these last few weeks?
Okay. Yeah. What the hell happened?
I don't know what happened to that video. So most of our videos get, I don't know, maybe 20 to 30 max, right?
Yeah.
Last I checked, we're sitting at just about 4,000 views.
Oh my God. How?
There's like 18 likes on it. There's 10 dislikes, which, hey.
Publicity is still publicity.
It's still exactly. I will say to that real quick. If for y'all that are disliking the videos, that's cool. But let us know why you dislike it. Because we would definitely want to improve on whatever. I know that was the episode that we didn't have video.
So So, which doesn't make any sense. Do you guys just hate our faces that much?
Yeah, like it was just a picture, the whole video.
Any other videos of us because we show our faces, but then the one that we don't have a face? Or is it Brianna? Is she our lucky charm here? Like, do we need to bring her in studio? We need to just have her for every video, even if she hasn't seen the movie. She'll just sit there silently.
She don't even have to say a word. Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing, and we'll just have her there, and we'll get a bunch more views.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember Percy Jackson being like a trending topic in the last couple of weeks. I could be wrong, but
I mean, anyways, it's a beloved franchise, so maybe that's why. But
I don't know. But I mean, so we appreciate it for everyone that gave it a shot.
Definitely. Thank you for coming back
a couple
again
subscribers. And again. So I'll say this: like, if you haven't subscribed, I will say a lot of people that watched it did not subscribe. So if you're watching our stuff and you're not subscribing, you should.
So with that,
what's up with that? We're back now. We're gonna be consistent again. So
yeah, we're not.
Are you taking any trips
weeks
anytime soon? Like I know I'm not. We have nothing to do.
I want to go on a trip.
I know, this sounds fun. Where would you go on a trip right now if you could?
Maybe Seattle. I love Seattle.
Oh, you do mention that you love Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Seattle.
New York. Those are my two favorite cities.
That's like your home away from home. Mm-hmm. Really cool. But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting, and I haven't really talked to you about it those couple weeks. I just think, I mean, I just really wanted to say that for y'all who gave that a shot, and honestly, any part of our show a shot, thank you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just thought it was crazy how that happened. I was just not expecting it. So that was funny. And then something else I wanted to ask you, since it's been a couple weeks, has there been any movies in these last couple weeks that you've caught on that like you thought were noteworthy to mention or anything like that?
I had a 3-day summer break.
Okay.
It just so happened that during that 3-day summer break, it was pouring rain the whole time, and I got sick. So
that's the way to do it.
That was fun. But in that time, I did get to watch a couple movies. I saw Luca.
Yes.
I absolutely loved it.
I think it's great.
We need to do a video on that one because
talk about it. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of theories about that movie too that I think would be really interesting to.
It's not even a theory. It's there. It's there. If you choose to see it, it's there.
I say theory, yeah, basically for the reasons because it's not officially confirmed. I mean, they actually officially said the opposite, but you watch the movie through your own lens. You know what I mean?
Okay, it's Disney.
It's pretty impossible not to view it through that lens, right?
Come on, no.
Yeah, it's kind of just like there, you know. But yeah, that'd be good, fun to delve into.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? I also saw Black Widow.
Oh, I have not seen that yet.
So
I will definitely try to this next couple days.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
You really didn't see this in the theater?
I did not. I saw it at home.
Oh, Premiere Access.
Again, it was pouring rain, and I was too sick to leave my house.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Are you intending on going back to see in the theater, or is it just kind of like I'll just watch it from home here on out?
Maybe. I don't know. I already paid the $30.
Yeah, I mean, the $30, you don't feel like dropping another $30 just to
just to go see it. So I don't know. Okay. Depends on the mood.
Yeah. I went to the theater twice when I was on my trip. First, I think I told you, I saw Fast 9.
Yes.
Such a stupid movie, but it was so fun. I was like smiling the whole time. It was so fun. And then last week I saw the new Purge movie, The Forever Purge.
Oh, how was that?
It's basically just a whole movie of Latinos killing off a bunch of white supremacists, and it is so satisfying. It's really good stuff. I had fun.
It's my type of movie.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's a fun time.
I gotta watch it then.
It's like the 19th Purge, but hey.
I've only seen the first one. I haven't seen the rest of them.
Really?
And I've always meant to have a marathon of it. But also, what would that do to my psyche to watch them all in a marathon?
I mean, I will say, I think the first one is my least favorite. I think all the ones after I prefer more, and maybe they tend to take more of an action horror. Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie that the first one was worse than the rest of them.
Mission Impossible, maybe.
I've never seen any of those.
Never seen any of them? Mm-mm. Oh, they're fun. You'd like them. But
would I?
No, well, I guess I don't know.
I mean, I like action movies, but that just seems like stupid, ridiculous action. So I don't know.
I mean, no, stupid, ridiculous action is Fast and Furious.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like they go to space. Okay, like let's. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but The Purge after the sequels kind of take more of an action horror approach, so I think it's a little different. So I thought it was
okay.
Cool.
Okay.
If not, you can honestly just watch this last one and just have fun with it because the other ones are just.
It doesn't make any sense anyway.
It doesn't. No, not really.
I saw the first one, and I saw Tokyo Drift.
Wait, which one are you? I was talking about The Purge.
Oh, I was still talking about Fast and Furious.
Oh, because I said action horror.
My brain isn't here today.
Can you imagine Fast and Furious' action horror franchise? We should just do that. We might as well.
See it. Oh,
we're running out of ideas here. Anywho, but yeah. So without all the way, the added benefit to us having a few weeks off is that I've really let the themes and everything of this movie sink in.
Yes,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Because usually we watch a movie and a few days later we talk about it.
Funny enough, yeah, I saw the movie on the plane ride home. So I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I had to like rewatch it again because I didn't have my little journal with me.
Oh,
so I didn't have any notes written down, and I was using my phone to watch the movie. So I was like, well, I can't switch to Notes app or anything. Right. So I had to rewatch it again, which honestly I didn't mind. So I rewatched it again. But it's been about a week since I've seen it, so it really has just kind of sunken in, but also I forgot everything. So let's see how this goes.
Okay, yeah, this will be good. So if you guys didn't already know, based on the background, we are talking about The Boss Baby. The second one just came out in theaters a few weekends ago. Hopefully you and I will be able to see that very soon. Yeah. So just to break it down a little bit for you, it's directed by Tom McGrath. And now, you may have heard that name, but if you look at this guy's resume, you might be a little impressed, okay? He was the co-director of not just the first Madagascar, not just the second one, all three of the movies.
Okay, but I love those movies.
Right.
So I'm very impressed with this guy. This guy,
he's already
yes.
Right. He solo directed by himself. This man directed Megamind, and then of course later on went to direct the second Boss Baby, which just came out. But yeah, that's his resume.
I have never loved a man more.
I cannot. Why do we not talk about him more as like an animation legend? I don't know.
Honestly, I cannot put into words how much I love Megamind. Cinematic masterpiece.
Dude, you know what's crazy is when it came out, I literally had the DVD and watched it I remember literally 7 times a week. And I don't know why. I haven't seen it since.
But I saw it I think like a couple months ago. But it's been too long since I've watched it.
7 months is still too long, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, everyone keep an eye out for that one.
Also, speaking of Madagascar, can we just take a second to appreciate the beautifully made scene in the third one where they're in the circus and Katy Perry's song "Firework" plays in the background and it's neon lights glowing all around. It's ridiculous, but it's so beautiful.
I'm gonna need a refresher on that one.
Yeah,
I don't remember it very well. But I believe you that it's there, and I believe that once I see it again, I will be on your side with that.
Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
Masterpiece. That's all I can say about it.
Anyways, that's all with this guy. Tom McGrath is his name. So, yes. Got quite a list of the cast. We got Alec Baldwin, Steve Buscemi, which I had no idea was in this movie, and I was so happy. I had no idea. No. Before I saw it. When I saw his name pop up, I was like, I did not know he's in this. Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, this was your first time watching it. I forgot.
Yes, this was my first viewing. Lisa Kudrow, Miles Bakshi, and Tobey Maguire. That's the kid. It's the kid's name. Yeah, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man himself, is in this. Released on March 31st, 2017, on a $125 million budget. It made back $528 million. Worldwide, and this is an Oscar-nominated movie. Believe it or not, it was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 90th Oscars.
Rightfully so.
Which I remember watching the live nominations, and when that popped up, I was like dead. I did not know how to react to that.
So let's start talking about like first impressions of this movie. So
okay,
I remember it was back in high school, and you were joking constantly about how like you couldn't wait to see this movie, and like you were talking about how it was going to be so great, and I was so annoyed with you. I was like, this looks like the stupidest movie, like I'm not going to watch it. Well, one day I was babysitting my niece. She wanted to watch it, so I put it on. She ended up leaving like midway through the movie. I don't even remember when, because I was hooked. I was into it. I didn't realize how good this movie was. Like it captivated me, and it wouldn't let me go.
I mean, come on, when you see this face here.
Come on now.
How can that not like hook you?
How can it not hook you? Yeah, exactly. So I was pleasantly surprised, and I definitely enjoyed it more than my niece did. So
I did not expect that either. That's pretty crazy that you hooked it up for her, just for her to be disinterested in you to just
fall in love with it. Yeah,
fall in love with it. Okay. I do remember making some jokes about this in high school. I actually fully intended on seeing this in theaters. Never did. I had no money. I don't know if those jokes I was making were ironic or not, to be honest with you. I don't know if I was really expecting it to be something special or not, but
who knows with you, man.
Whatever.
You had like a good range of movies that was always like, they were either like cinematic masterpieces or just trash, just dog garbage. Awful.
There was no in between.
No in between.
Because I remember like our senior year when I would always like watch a movie during lunch or something, you would look and you'd be like, that looks like something cool, or it looks like
something really bad.
Really bad.
And you should quit, ever being in love with movies.
Exactly. Like, disregard that. But like we said, we don't know nothing about movies, so.
That's true. We are two idiots.
I think with this, we have some things we can talk about.
Absolutely.
With this one for sure. But, my first impression, I watched this a few weeks ago in preparation for when we were originally supposed to talk about this. And I came away enjoying this quite a bit as well. Unironically, there's a lot here to really dig into.
Get into.
That reminds me. I was literally going to open the episode going, fart poop duty, everybody.
I'm glad that you didn't, and now I'm sad that you did. So.
That was my first note, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So my first surprise when it started was hearing Tobey Maguire's narration. I was like, I did not expect his voice to be in there, but I really liked the opening scene because it just put you right into his imagination.
Right into it. Yes, I made sure to make a note of that. I love that the movie, like throughout the movie, you just see it through Tim's eyes and like through his imagination. There's like a lot of specific scenes where the animation style changes. Oh my god, there's thunder outside.
Did you hear that too?
Yeah.
I heard the same thing. I literally forget we live like 5 minutes away from each other.
Yeah. I like the rain, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, the animation style, the way it just changes to like fit how he sees everything, I really love it. I think it's cool. It's a nice little thing to add to the movie, and you get a lot out of it. So definitely.
I mean, it really made me see they were clearly on something making this, right? It had to be. They had to be. Like, what was happening?
They knew they were making a masterpiece.
That kid, I will say at the beginning, was getting on my nerves a little. I'm like, this kid's a little too needy.
I never felt that way with him. I thought he was precious. You know what?
He was a sweet kid, but yeah.
I think it was that I related to him.
You're like basically an only child.
I have 2 older brothers, but they're so much older than me that honestly they're my second set of parents. Like they're not really my brothers at this point. And I was always kind of considered like the only child because I was so much younger. And I remember when my first niece came into the picture, I could not stand her. We were not friends. We were not on good terms.
You're literally this kid.
I was a kid,
so and I
was the princess. I was the center of attention, and then all of a sudden, this girl comes in, and suddenly I'm not. No.
Yeah.
We're all good now. We're chill. We're besties now. I'm gonna take her to the movies later, so that'll be fun.
That'd be fun.
So, you know, we're cool now, but I've really related to it, the whole, like,
you related to that kid a little too much.
A little too much, and it's honestly, it's shameful, the amount that I related to him. But, you know, he learns a good lesson at the end.
He does. I honestly, it was just the beginning. I was like, I would not deal with this kid.
It is very needy, yes, I will say that.
But then I really liked how it segued into that title sequence. I thought it was really cute and funny with the way the babies are, like, going throughout the...
Yeah,
whatever that is.
the whole baby factory
nature
that
of it.
Whole scene was adorable, but also really funny.
It was funny
with the boss baby being like the main one you see, and he just can't seem to.
He can't seem to do anything right.
Catch a break on this thing, yeah. It's just every moment of this it's funny, but also just so adorable.
It is honestly really cute. So,
the baby factory is very cute. Really liked it.
But then it's cute, but then sometimes it gets ridiculous. Like, even when the way he steps out that taxi.
Okay, well, the whole thing is supposed... so there's, like, the line... I should have written it down, but I didn't. But it was like, this is... Or it was like, I swore I saw him arrive in a taxi. Like, he said it in a way, like, as if, like, a child was retelling... Or no.
Oh, no, yeah.
Like, he was retelling it from his perspective as a child. Like, as an adult. Like, he's like, this is what I remember. I may be wrong, but this is what I remember. So I feel like they really do set it up to where it's like... It's wild and it doesn't quite, you know, it makes up its own rules. The movie has its own rules, but in a way he's with this one line, he sets up the rest of the movie saying like, yes, it's wild, but it's also coming from my imagination as a child. He's like 7.
Right.
So it's like, you know,
but okay, so here's my thing.
You can't take everything.
That's true. Because I did have that kind of theory in my mind. I was like, is the whole movie kind of just how he views it in his imagination?
Yeah.
But the only problem I have is that when he's imagining something, it's very clear because, like you were saying, they switch up the animation style. So you know when he's using his imagination.
I think, if anything, that adds to the theory of it all being in how he sees it, how he imagines it. It's just... So
he's imagining in his imagination? Well, what I'm saying is, if the whole movie was his imagination, then... why would only certain sequences be...
You get specific...
Like, imaginative?
Okay. I see what you mean.
Thing.
But I disagree. I think that adds to the fact that the whole thing is, like, made up in... Well, it's like, if you were to tell a story from your childhood, you're going to have parts that are, like, make more sense than others. But all in all, the whole thing is going to be pretty ridiculous and not accurate at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know.
I guess so.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, I respect it. But yeah, I thought when he showed up, it was funny. Just how immediately he's just the most bossy baby.
Yes, which is an accurate take on babies because they are very bossy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think him just already fighting with the baby was just funny.
Yes, the relationship right out of the gate is very entertaining. Like the whole scene with like the dinner table where they're like pulling the tablecloth and
yeah absolutely
that one
and then he's like oh no, go ahead guys.
It's probably the same scene where he was like, he carries around a briefcase and he's like he like puts it down,
he's wearing like
yeah, like that whole thing, the whole scene was funny. It's the little exchanges that they have that are just like very funny. I really like it. Funny for even a kids movie, which I hate saying that because I'm a firm believer and there's no such thing as like only kids movie. Adults can watch kids movies. I
agree with you. I think animation has that stigma where it's like it's just for kids when there's so many great exceptions to that, but there are certainly movies that are clearly geared just for kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think I think this is a movie that wants to appeal to kids, but I don't think this is only for kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because there's definitely a lot of adult humor.
There's jokes in here that's for the adults, like, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing the thunder and I'm getting so excited. I'm sorry.
I know. So yeah, I don't know if our mics are picking up the rain and the wind and the thunder, but
If it is, you're welcome, because this really could be an ASMR thing.
It really could. We could have the surrounding sounds like all that.
Yeah, no, none of that. Immediately withdraw that.
But I just thought there was a lot of little creative uses in there, details, like we were saying, like the way he's saying, like, we have to talk about the BABEE.
Why, Tim?
Because
it's all really funny. Just a lot of it was a lot of little exchanges like that. I like the one scene with when he meets the rest of the team of babies.
Yes. That scene is so funny.
It looks like a horror, something straight out of a horror film.
Literally, like the first time I noticed that thing was when the baby's phone started ringing, and the angle was like Dutch, like tilted. I was like, why are they framing it like?
It hops genres. That's really interesting to see. That's impressive film right there.
What other ways did you think like they hopped the genre?
Well, they went from horror to comedy to
no romance this time. No
bromance.
That's true. That's very true.
Brother,
I think it is a bromance by the end. Yeah.
A family film. About loving your family.
A family drama about the struggles of self-love and...
Of self-love. Yes, that is exactly it. Yeah. So maybe I stretched it a bit there, but it is funny.
No. I was just curious what we were thinking about it.
I'm sure that there is, but again, it's been like a week since I've seen this movie. So.
It has been a little bit since I've seen it, because like I said, usually it's very fresh in my mind. It's not as fresh now, but
yeah.
Never notes that helps. I
know.
I also really liked how they did the transitions here. It wasn't quite like the Scott Pilgrim ones, nothing crazy like that.
Oh yeah, no like time jumping or anything like that. Yeah. But still creative enough.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how we switched off the topic, but you brought up the meeting where they're all the babies are meeting together.
Oh yeah, the baby meeting.
The MVP of this movie for me, I love this character, is Jimbo. I love that.
I love that man so much.
So
the baby
much.
man baby.
I love how he's like, Jimbo, hit the lights, and he just fucking destroys them.
He destroys it. Everything about it is so funny. I also love that out of like the team, the boss baby's like the only one that's like has no child-like bits to him. Like the other ones, it was like the little girl, and she was just drawing. He was like, read back the notes. Like, Stacy, it was like, Stacy, read back the notes. And she was like, I don't know, what does this say? I can't read. And it was just like just a drawing. Like that.
And then you have those triplets, right?
Yes, the triplets, and they're the yes men of the group that are just like, yes, boss.
And then you have Jimbo over here, like, shaking his thing, like...
The muscle, and he's like, causing the, like, so... what's his name? Tim can't hear them, the meeting.
Yeah.
And, like, them being, like, terrified of that little bear that does the projection is another funny little thing. So, like, you still see that they act like babies, unlike the main baby, who doesn't act like a baby.
Yeah, which I liked. I liked how I liked the contrast with that, because it made it funnier too, but also it showed he's the boss. He's the boss baby.
Boss.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and he was frustrated with his team, but. Yeah, that whole thing was fun. The chase for the recording was really fun. I love that it's like you see it, like it looks so intense what's happening, and then it cuts to like the parents' view, and it's just like he's like getting dragged in the grass, like
and the car just moving like barely like this.
I know, just like barely moving. It's moving. So funny.
I love that contrast with like the reality of it, and like how they're all, like he's imagining it, like we're saying.
Yeah, you suddenly get like a cut from like what's really happening versus
what's going on like in their head.
In his imagination. Yeah. So that was really funny.
I was gonna ask you, I forgot. There's a song they keep singing throughout the whole movie. The Beatles song.
Blackbird.
Yes, I loved how he was like, "That was my song."
It's my
like
special song.
You're like, your parents are Lennon and McCarthy, and he's like, "Huh?"
That was so funny. That was really funny. I like that. the relationship as like it goes on, and like because from that scene forward you start to see like a shift between them, but I do love that their like personalities are such like opposites in that like he's like a businessman even though he's a baby, and he's like the older soul, I guess you could say.
He feels like older in charge even though he's just a baby.
Even though he's just a baby. So I think that's funny, like how they contrast and how their relationship works together.
But they don't age though, so like in reality, like how old is he really?
That's a good question.
Because that's what they have the formula for, to keep them as a baby.
Keep them a baby forever, yeah. So
I love how we're talking about this all on a serious note, but I'm telling you, that scene where he finally like explains to him like how everything breaks down by them sucking the pacifiers. I was just like, this is another scene on drugs.
That was great. Yeah, it was that whole scene. And then the parents coming in, the dad comes in, he's like,
I know, because it's like, and there's like, yeah,
that whole thing was funny. Again, just like a lot of little scenes that are they're quick cutaways. Yeah, but they work because it's like even just a quick little cutaway will have like so much detail in it that it's like it just adds so much works like as a whole.
Confusion.
It adds that again comedy element to it without even like having to say a word necessarily. That shows the brilliance of like the script, I guess.
Yeah. I honestly just wondered how many times did Alec Baldwin like have to record these lines in the studio, because I would have just been busting out laughing.
I imagine another. Okay, so now that you've said that, like I'm imagining. Did you ever see the newer Spider-Man, the animated version, Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah. So you know how John Mulaney plays the
Spider-Pig?
Yeah, Spider-Pig. I guess it was like an interview or something where he was talking about when he first started recording for it, he didn't know it was for like a kids and family movie. Like he thought it was like an old, like a adult
like
movie.
Geared towards older audiences. Yeah.
And so when he was in there, he was cussing and so I don't know. I imagine the same thing happening with Alec Baldwin, and someone had to come in and be like, "Listen, dude,
you need to tone it down.
Children's movie. You need to calm down.
Like this is not Sausage Party, okay?"
Yeah. So I imagine something like that was happening in the studio.
I would. Now that you bring up that John Mulaney thing, I would love to see that cut of Spider-Verse.
Right? I would love to see that cut. Like that.
Maybe for the sequel, we'll see.
Please.
But yeah. And then after that, like, then they're like, we have to pretend, to get along for the parents to convince them and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But then, like, I thought it was sweet that the last moments that they're actually, like, together and that the parents see them, they're actually, like, we're genuinely bonding,
Yeah, it starts off as like a very like staged act, but as it goes on, you realize that they're like starting to like enjoy each other's presence.
Yeah.
And they can stand each other again, and the acting is suddenly not acting anymore, whether they realize it or not.
Intended, yeah, right.
Yeah, whether it's intended or not, because they're at this point they're a team. They're working together, and you can't work on a team for so long before you create a bond with that team.
That's true.
Otherwise, will you really accomplish anything?
Right. I mean, it's like how we've gone so far with this show.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
It's the bond that
we were a little bit on the ice these past couple of weeks.
To be honest.
Because we haven't been here. But
the bond is strong again. Exactly.
Yes, there's no I in team.
Team. No.
So.
But there is an I in... No, there is no I in envelope either. As we talked about before.
But there's an I in I, which again was so clever.
That it's a clever answer that does not work.
I'm creating my own riddle now, because that's the correct answer.
You could try asking me a riddle in the future. I would have a much worse answer than you.
Yes, yeah, it would not work at all.
Okay, yeah. Then Steve Buscemi, our king, shows up. I was wondering when he was coming, and he's finally there.
He's finally here.
And at this point, I was like, I don't care if he's the villain and we're not supposed to root for him. It's Stevie, and his name is Francis. Okay? Like, Francis. I'm sorry. I'm going to be on this guy's side. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, how could I not? and then him being super colossal boss baby, whatever the hell his name was, being the twist. That was so funny.
What a twist!
What a twist!
I know. Yeah, I like
had my mind spiraling. I did not know what to think.
Even when he was like explaining the big twist, and he like tells it in the form of a pop-up book, and he like offers them cookies and and everything about that whole scene. It's just gotta love Steve Buscemi.
So stupid, but he's great. Yeah. And honestly, part of me understood his reasoning. I mean, I would love a forever puppy. I think that maybe the most adorable thing. Yeah. I mean, you can have, but that's the thing. I feel like you can have two great things. Like, just because we have forever puppies doesn't mean we don't need to have babies.
And that's the point of the movie, man. Is about sharing the love.
It's just the love, man. It's peace and love.
It's the love.
But I don't know why they didn't cross their mind. They're like, we need to eliminate one to have the other. No, it's like that taco commercial. Why not both?
Why not both? What a perfect analogy.
Thank you. I've been waiting to use that reference for 14 episodes. I finally had the chance.
It's always there in your catalog.
It's always been in my head. I'm just like, fuck, I don't know how to bring it back.
When am I going to use it? When it's going to happen? You finally get to use it today. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Rube Goldberg machine thing going on to catch them. Rube Goldberg, you never heard of those? Yeah.
Like I don't know. No, I haven't heard that like that though. No.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay.
I had to make one for like an art class, and it was not
pretty
fun.
Terrible. No?
Yeah, and it was terrible too. Yeah, it was not good. No bueno.
No. Sorry
but they're still fun to like. It's like fun to look at, and like even in the scene, they were like,
when you step away from the process of it, it's fun. Oh, we should do what?
No, in the movie where he was like, I feel like we should run, but I can't look away.
You know, you're just like,
the magic of a Rube Goldberg machine.
Honestly, I felt that, yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun to watch, but
yeah. So then after all that, then you're like, okay, things are starting to like come like. What'd you call it? Like
the climax of the film, because we now have a villain established.
The stakes are here.
The stakes
are in trouble.
They're
in peril. Like all that.
The parents are now taken to Vegas, and the kids are left.
Okay. The worst parents I've ever seen in my entire life. How
just
bad are these parents? They just don't. Like, what is their role?
The company has like this lady who's definitely a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, yep, seems legit.
We'll just go for it. Yeah.
Take our kids. We'll be gone in Vegas.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. So
like, idiots.
Yeah, not very good parents. So.
I don't remember why I wrote things about bikes. Did they ride a bike around that point of the movie?
Yeah, so that was the getaway from the the nanny. And it was a very intense bike race. He calls on his little team, and they come and they try. The
teamwork was beautiful to see.
This is beautiful teamwork, absolutely, all working together. They do that really cool thing because Tim doesn't know how to ride a bike without training wheels, and so the boss baby helps like to teach him. Which I like. It was this scene, and then it was the next scene when they're in the airplane. Mm-hmm. And they're both like learning from each other constantly. So it's like he learns, he's, I don't want to say father figure because it's his little brother, which is weird. but
no, I kind of get what you mean though.
You get your father figure to like teach you how to ride a bike, and then he teaches him how to have an imagination and how to have a childhood because he never had that because he was always like straight into like
he was always just boss.
Business. Yeah, he was always the boss, man. Mm-hmm. He was Bruce Springsteen. So
basically, yeah.
Yeah, so it's so that was another great scene, a great chase scene.
Yeah,
it was very very intense.
I do have a quick story I wanted to mention. It's a true story. Guess how old I was when I finally learned how to ride a bike without training wheels?
I'm gonna say never.
Close. No, I was 9.
Oh, okay.
It took me that long.
That's not that bad. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, You know that whole saying, it's like, once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget? That's a damn lie.
That's not true.
It's not true.
I couldn't even do it now.
Because I forget every single time. I always forget. Also, I'm just very clumsy, and I don't have very good, like, balance or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, like, staying upright on a bike is a challenge.
It's a challenge for you?
I cannot do it.
Have you been tempted to, like, put those wheels back on?
A few times, yes.
I mean, at this point, I would do it with no shame. I'm like, I need to get to where I need to go.
Honestly. Yeah, I think I was in, like, the 5th grade when I stopped using training wheels, which I don't... How old is that?
Isn't that older than 9?
Like, I think it's about, like, 10 or something like that. So, So,
so we both have had bike difficulties.
We've had some challenges. Yeah.
I mean, I do have another story. That's, I remember I was, like, in my neighborhood. I had borrowed someone's bike to go to my house to grab something. And then on the way back, there were a few girls that I knew that were on the street, and I don't remember why. I think I felt like I was gonna hit them or something. I don't know why. They were like in the middle of the street. So for whatever reason, I lost control of the bike and I ran right into someone's Audi.
Oh,
and broke their taillight.
Oh, Caesar.
But so here's what happened. So then, as soon as it happened, the girls are yelling at me like, "Go! Like tell them!" I'm like, I was like, so overwhelmed. And my leg was bleeding. So then I go up to the house and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like I hit your car. I broke this. They did not even care about the car. They were just concerned about my leg.
Aww.
They're just like, nice, no, like it's fine. Like as long as your leg's okay. I think I was like 13 or 14 when this happened.
I don't know why I imagined that story going in a very different direction.
What? Like what?
And I don't know why, because this does not fit your character at all. But in my head, I was like, he's going to talk about how he went and was like, ladies, and tried to show off your bike. And like, which again is so out of character for you. But I don't know why that is why, like, that is what I was imagining. But I'm glad that it ended up with you just getting hurt. I'm glad that it ended
up being fitting my character. Yes.
you getting hurt and
yeah, they're right.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, bikes are just a little, you know, they kind of sting a little mentally. So I like that he was finally able to overcome that difficulty, like finally being able to ride a bike and how he uses his imagination to overcome it.
Yes. You know?
I agree. So that was very cool.
But yeah, I like that whole scene on the airplane when they finally.
How did they board that plane so damn fast?
The power of Elvis, of course. I loved the Elvis talk.
The convention? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The whole thing was funny.
I mean, it just, did not make any sense. But it did because they were going to Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But also, too, I forget, this is it implied that this is set like in the 90s or something?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even consider that.
Because if you think about it, like this second movie coming out, they're adults. Like the movie ends with them being adults. That's which true. Is like 20, it has to be like 20 years later, right? Which is like present time. So that had to be set in like the 90s or something, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
But anyways, that was not even my point. What was my point? Oh yeah, wait. Before when they even got to the plane, they were fighting.
Yes, I forgot that.
I don't remember what over, to be honest with you.
They were fighting because what were they fighting about?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, but basically,
so he starts turning back into a baby because he doesn't have his formula anymore.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get to the parents, and he was like, "Oh, I couldn't get to them because of you." Is that maybe it? That might have been it. I
don't know. But basically, the only thing I wrote down from that was like he dropped that line. He's like, "I wish you never been born."
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, he got his ass." But they made up like hurts. 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
That's really not the important part, because just to conflict with him again would have just been.
They just needed more conflict.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. It did seem a little bit random, a little unnecessary. I don't think it was.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Needed.
Sure.
But it was there.
Whatever.
It happened. But yeah, so they made up. They made it on the plane. He learns from him how to be imaginative. They were pirates for a bit, so that was cool.
That's true.
What else? Going back to that Elvis thing. I was just in Vegas, and maybe it's because of COVID. I did not see a single Elvis, and I was very disappointed.
Really? Oh, I would have had to do it again. That trip doesn't even count.
I know. I gotta go back. go find the Elvis.
I know. So, you could have gone to like a church or something, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I should have done that. I should have got married.
Yeah, just try it out.
But yeah, so in the end, I mean, I guess you see them get to, he was like tricking the ladies in the limo who were having like a bachelorette party. He was like, I need to give my brother his medicine. Yeah, I know. And he was like, where do you live, sweetie? The convention center. And they're like, okay.
So stupid.
And then they give him alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The people of Long Island do not know how to make an iced tea. That was a funny line.
Oh my god, yeah. Some of those lines, I really don't know what to think of them. I'm like, do I laugh? Do I question this? Yeah. Or do I just accept it? And you can kind of just have to accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get into this more at the end once we kind of give our overall thoughts, but this is very much a B-movie kind of vibe for me.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. In a certain way. I'll explain at the end, but
I think it's
lines like that, where there's little lines like that, where it's just like, do I accept this or do I question this?
It's the gem of DreamWorks animation.
I don't know whether you're being ironic or not.
I'll get into that later.
Okay. As we were saying.
I like that during the fight, when they finally do get to the convention center, he talks like a fortune cookie. I don't know if I like it per se, but it was just a note that because like the whole time I should have written down like specific lines from it, but like during their fight it was like, your contract is over or something, and like no severance pay. It starts in the airplane when they're doing the imagination, and then it carries over when they're actually in like the midst of the fight with Francis. Francis, that name.
Francis, Jesus Christ.
So he talks like a fortune cookie, which is, I guess, interesting.
No, I get that. Little. Yeah. Let me see. Then they see that puppy. I love how everyone just forgets about their own children when they see that puppy.
They just ditch them. They're like, Mom, Dad.
They're like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little sad.
Yeah. And then,
but I gotta say, they're smart kids. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Because it's like the way that they're able to like really. Like, even the part where it's like he has to like get his parents out of there, and he uses a sea of puppies to do that.
Yeah.
Which smart thinking.
You know what? I thought about that too. Like when towards the end, he was thinking of ideas that I would never think of in that moment.
Right.
I just love how he just knew what to do, and I was like,
because he's creative and he's always working with his imagination.
That's true.
That's what it is.
His mind is always like operating. So that makes sense. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
And then I thought the way they won was kind of sweet, like with him singing the song, and then also like the whole imagination thing coming full circle, against Francis, our king. Yeah, I thought they edited it like clever, how they brought like all those things back full circle,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think in the end they are good brothers to one another, and you really see it like with the whole thing. He's willing to give up his special song to help and save his brother.
Yeah.
And so when he does achieve it, he goes back to the company. He gets what he wants, but he finds out that's not really what he wants. Because inside every businessman is really a family man.
It is, exactly.
Have you ever seen The Family Man?
I have not.
It's not good.
No?
It's one of my dad's favorite movies.
What is that?
It's with Nicolas Cage. My problem is with Nicolas Cage. I don't like him. So
you don't like Nicolas Cage?
I can't stand the man. But my dad, he's like in love with him. So.
Oh. So we gotta do a Nicolas Cage movie then pretty soon.
I guess so. Yeah, we have to do that episode with like our father's fathers, or like our father's movies.
Our father's favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get into that episode soon. Got that planned out.
Yes. I've seen the poster for this movie. I don't know what it is though, but maybe I'll check it out. Because you said you don't like it.
Yeah, I really don't like it. But moving on. Oh, and then I wrote down the quote, "Not all that glitters is gold." And he realizes that. Both of them do. So he realizes he doesn't want a family without his brother. And he realizes he doesn't want that corner office with the golden toilet. He wants to be with his family too. And it's sweet.
So beautiful. So poignant.
Yeah. And we find out that memos, they are important. but they're not. They're annoying as hell to write, and I hate them. So.
Do you have to write memos for work?
No, but for one of my like classes, I guess it was like a
that was like a part of the
sort of like a business class thing. So I had to write a bunch of memos to like practice writing memos.
Yeah. Wait, memos to practice writing memos.
Yeah, I don't know. It was stupid.
Anyway. So, also, I don't know if you knew this. I was listening to this masterful dialogueless sequence at the end of the movie, and then I realized the guy who did the score was Hans Zimmer.
You know, makes sense. I was actually gonna mention the score earlier, but I forgot to. Like the whole like childlike, like the
yeah. Well, it was him and another person. I actually don't remember who did the score with him. I don't know how much of that score you were mentioning is his doing. This other guy, Steve Mazzaro, is the other guy. But I don't know why he's involved with this because he's written so many great scores, and
it's slightly out of place, but I really enjoyed it actually. I thought that it was pretty good. I think it fit the tone of the movie really well. It added to the childlike wonder of it, and the being a movie about children, it makes sense.
And
so
the baby being the boss and all that,
and baby being a boss.
Yes.
But yeah,
I thought the ending was cute. I did think it was starting to take a little long to end. I'm like, we can wrap it up now. But
yeah, I can see that.
But it was cute. And then it ends with another, boss baby.
Another boss baby, which we will see now in
we're gonna see.
Family Business.
Yes. So yeah. Did you so I do have some overall thoughts about it since we've mentioned everything, but did you have any ottle other notes that you wanted to mention?
I think
before you get into final thoughts.
It's a good family film. It's sweet to see two brothers bonding. I have my siblings. We're very close. We're a very close-knit family in my family. We fight with each other every day. But we do it out of love. And I think that's why another reason why I like this movie is it portrays a nice looking family where it's you have your fights, but at the end of the day you love each other. And I think that's a beautiful message.
I have that same relationship with my sister, for sure. My sister's older than me, and we've had our fair share of fights and arguments. But at the end of the day, it all just comes back to a loving family. This just feels like one of those Saturday. What do they call those? Those shows that just have it feels like Full House or something.
Kids specials.
Yeah, after school specials.
After school specials. We really want to know. We need the little chiming or sound the music that they play in Full House when they learn the lesson. And yes, I'll edit it over this part of the please
episode.
Do thank you.
I'll try to find it. That'd be funny. Okay, well, my kind of final thoughts about this movie. I in a way don't really know why this became a franchise versus some other movies they've done, but I mean, numbers don't lie. I mean, they made a lot of money. I do think the quality of the movie, I think the second half wasn't as strong as the first half for me. And maybe that's because I liked them fighting more than, maybe I'm just maybe I'm just not a
You're
good person.
You're an instigator.
Yeah, I just like seeing conflict, I guess.
You like the drama. You like the
I like the drama. Tea. Yes. Cheers to that.
Sponsored by the First Sip.
Oh, are you really drinking tea? I didn't even see. Oh,
I have to. I can't.
Oh, I actually
my throat right now.
Well, maybe this isn't a surprise to you, but I don't like tea.
You're awful. I hate you.
I mean, you knew I didn't like sweet tea.
Oh, that's true.
That's disgusting. Anyway, different conversation.
You live in Texas and you don't like sweet tea.
But
you
I'm
got
not
some issues.
from Texas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you've lived here for so many years. Come on.
Yeah. That's a different conversation. I'm not trying to lose all our viewers. Yeah. And obviously, like we were saying, even though this is a movie for adults, I mean, you got your fair share of poopy potty jokes in here for the kids.
Okay, yeah.
that they just can't, for whatever reason, avoid. They just have to have in there.
It's called scatological humor, and it comes from Greek and Roman late and early comedies. I learned that in my classical literature class. I don't know why I'll ever need this again,
how do you
but I have
that?
this information.
Scatological
humor.
Scatological humor.
Or something like that, yeah.
With one T. It's, toilet humor, potty humor, scatological humor.
And it comes from the Greeks when they were doing comedies.
Wow, I did not know that.
The more you know.
Why can't we get rid of that? I think we're past that now. In a movie, if we're talking in person, like, I'm gonna make poop jokes in my daily life. It's funny, but I'm sorry.
But it's not. Is the thing. you're
I'm sorry.
You
don't think it's funny if someone farts? I think it's funny hearing someone fart.
You're a child.
No.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. When people fart, I think it's funny. But if someone farts in a movie, I don't think it's funny. Because I'm like, that's just lazy. I'm lazy in my life, but I'm not making a movie, you know? That's the difference. No one's giving me $10 million to make fart jokes.
You have points that were made. Sure.
Okay. Anyways, they rely on it a little bit, but whatever. But still, I really enjoyed the animation. I thought it looked great. I mean, DreamWorks, they know what they're doing in that department. And I did like a lot of the humor, to be honest. The voice acting was really solid. We didn't mention too much about like the actors here, but I mean, Alec Baldwin is really good in this. I heard a little of his Trump impression in the character a little bit, and maybe that's because he was dressed as like a businessman.
Not to hear. Yeah.
Steve Buscemi too, like you said. Francis is legend here, and even the kid, I liked his character a lot too, even though, like I said, he was kind of annoying at the beginning. But and I liked how this, like we said, just it's embraced the ridiculousness of it, but it was sort of an imaginative way that I think is really well done. And even though I think kids will enjoy this, I think more than adults, just because of that aspect of it. Like, it's just, I mean, it's a pretty harmless watch, but it has a lot of energy to it.
Yeah. I've watched it too many times, so.
Yeah. I don't even, how many times, if you had to guess, or do you want to admit that?
I would say like 10 maybe. So it's not like a, okay, it's a lot.
It's not like a lot. Are you serious? Don't do that.
It's
and
don't
you dare use the excuse of my niece. And no.
Yeah, I've seen it with her maybe like twice. So. Yeah,
the other 8 times was you.
It's all on me.
All on you.
I'm proud of it.
Yes. Obviously,
I
don't think.
Sorry. Continue. Yes.
Damn, you really lost my train. Oh, I was gonna say, I think compared to other DreamWorks like franchises, like your Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Dragon and stuff, this isn't that. But I think it's still an okay watch. Like, it's still really solid work from them. I mean, it is a meme movie, deservedly so, but I also think this deserves a lot more credit than it's given. Like, way more credit than it's given, I will say. And I think also it's better than the other DreamWorks movie we talked about in B Movie. I think this was better.
Yes. I think the B Movie is known as more of a classic, but I think in terms of like actual like design and like the script and storyline, all of that, in terms of that, it is a
I just the effort put into the animation and like some of the humor here is just
absolutely in every regard it is so much. It's well done. Like it's made. The production quality is so much better than it would be for the B movie.
Right.
But the B movie is just considered a classic because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the memes and all that, like that definitely adds to it. I will say, I just like what I mentioned with just people not giving enough credit. I think people just look at the premise and see it's poppy and think it's stupid. It is stupid. Like we're not denying that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
But I feel like they do exactly what they could have done and should have done with that to the best way they could.
Yes, I agree.
Right? I don't know if I lost my sense of ability to speak there.
You did, but it made somewhat sense.
Okay.
I could gather enough of it.
Yeah, so did you have any final thoughts on the movie? Or was that about it?
That was about it. I mean, I think, again, when I first saw it, I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I've watched it a lot of times after that.
Around 9 times too many, maybe, but
perhaps.
No, I could rewatch this.
But I always enjoy watching it. I think it makes me laugh, makes me chuckle. And that's always a good movie in my eyes. So
yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
So what did you want to rate this movie?
Yes. I think I want to give it like a high 7.
High 7. Okay.
7. Like it's almost at an 8. Like it's almost there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually gonna up my score a little bit, but it's also gonna be a 7.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 7. So I don't know if you want to cheers through the.
Cheers through the camera.
There, beautiful. Yeah, I had it at a 6, but honestly, like most of the issues I had with it are just kind of like issues like you see with like other animated movies. Sometimes that's just kind of part of the genre.
Sometimes it gets lazy writing and things like that.
Yeah, all that. But I don't know. I just thought creatively they did so much with this that I think it's just really fun to watch. Just really energetic and like. Yeah, I wouldn't mind rewatching this, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the second one. I don't know if it's gonna be any better than this.
I have a feeling it won't be, but
probably not. But I don't think it's gonna be like that.
It's not gonna be terrible.
I feel like they're gonna be around the same level of quality, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though we won't have Francis back. Maybe I don't think he's back. They replaced Tobey Maguire. So.
But she was there for like 2 seconds anyway.
Yeah, but still, like just hearing it. I think what I loved about his narration, it sounded like how he narrated in Spider-Man. Like the way he would read his lines sounded exactly like Peter Parker. So it made me just feel like this is like from Spider-Man, what he was reading. That was beautiful. So that will be sorely missed in the sequel. But yeah, those are our thoughts on The Boss Baby. 2 weeks in the making, at least. But we finally did it. How's your voice feeling?
Awful. My throat is awful, but
you're like, I might have to be out till next week, but
so yeah,
it's all worth it.
We'll see about next week's episode.
Yes,
hopefully,
for sure.
I'm back better than ever, and you can hear my beautiful voice again.
Sure. But speaking of next week, we do have our movie ready to go. So, Martha, do you remember it? And if you do, can go ahead with it.
So next week, we are going to be watching 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes, because
classic.
There are a lot of things I hate about Martha. Might be more than 10 things.
There are a lot of things I hate about Martha too.
Give or take, yeah. So maybe we'll get into that too. Starting with the fact
that she doesn't have a voice.
Right, she doesn't have a voice. So. But I don't know if anyone noticed your blonde hair.
Oh yeah,
the last time. That's a new.
I said
definitely a different look.
The last episode because I was trying to do like the Brie Larson hair from Scott Pilgrim, and I wasn't blonde and I didn't have bangs, so I went and got bangs and I'm blonde now. So I really just want to be Brie Larson.
We could just do Scott Pilgrim Revisited now that you have.
Yeah, let's do that. Now that I have the hair.
All right, perfect. No, but. Yeah, we are doing 10 Things I Hate About You. It should be a fun one. And that is streaming right now on Disney+. So if you have not seen it or you want to rewatch it, it's right there.
It's there. Definitely rewatch it. I love that movie. It's so cheesy and it's terrible, but I love it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a couple years now, but I feel like I feel like I get sad every time I see Heath Ledger.
I watch that movie like once every other month, so...
But it's been like a couple months.
It's always just like on in the background for me.
It is a good background movie. Yeah. But we're going to talk about why it deserves to be in your foreground.
Yes.
Okay. Anywho, we are on all audio streaming platforms. So if you have Spotify, if you have Apple Podcasts, you can find us there. So definitely listen to our show there. I know on Apple you can leave a review. So if you've listened to the episode and you want to let us know your thoughts on it, please go ahead and do so. You can follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, and on Instagram. It's all at Inner Wider Screen. I know we're not the most active on there like we should be, but we do post on there. We're not even active on our own accounts. Come on, now. You can't expect a lot from us. That's very true. So we're trying. Okay, we're not social media savvy, but we have people. We have our friends helping us, and yeah, it's good. And then finally, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Inner Wider Screen Podcast. Again, I know y'all are watching because that Percy Jackson episode was pretty nuts. So if you're watching, if you like it, subscribe. If you don't, you can leave a dislike and subscribe. Just let us know, like, your thoughts on the show. You can comment down below. Let us know what we need to. Or are you shaking? You don't want people to let us know?
I'm still on the people who are giving us dislikes. I'm scolding you.
Honestly, yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and be like our show's so perfect that we don't deserve them. But I guess
this is high quality content.
Did you not see what this is like? Look at this. Like, really? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, no, we deserve those dislikes.
No, honestly, we do. But in all seriousness, like, yeah, let us know your feedback, like whether you liked or disliked what you liked or not, and they'll definitely improve us for future episodes. So yeah. So Martha, did you have anything else you wanted to say before we head off? Or no? Not quite. I did notice you were wearing baby blue today in your shirt too. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
The shirt was intentional because it was like a butterfly, and it was like, this looks like the kind of shirt like a child would wear, like a little girl would wear. But baby blue does make sense too, so let's go with that one.
Okay.
I was trying to think of like a quote from the movie, but I couldn't think of any.
I do have fart poop duty.
And I knew that was coming, and that's why I was trying to come up with a different quote. So.
Well, thank y'all for listening, for watching, and
bye. Ow.